Today we're welcoming Courtney. Welcome, Courtney. It's so nice to see you. And Courtney is with Parker Hannafin. So, Courtney, why don't you give us a little background about Parker? Where are you guys located? What do you make? There's probably a lot of people who don't know any of those things.
Yes, thank you, Karen, for having me. A little bit about Parker. I like to say we're one of the biggest companies that you've never heard of. Maybe if you're local to the area, you may know about Parker because we have a couple of different locations right in the city. But Parker is actually a global company. So our headquarters is in the Cleveland, Ohio area. Beyond that, we have hundreds of locations throughout the world and throughout the U.S., two of which are here in Manitowoc, Wisconsin. And what Parker does, it's a very wide breadth of what we do. So I'd like to say if it's something that moves or stops a product from moving heavily with any fluid movement, that it could be a Parker component. So our vision is to engineer customer success. So we have divisions and different groups all throughout the U.S. that do different functions, whether it's aerospace product, water filtration, pneumatics, robotics, medical use devices, and primarily here at our facility on Dufek Drive in Manitowoc, we are part of our Parflex division, which end product is different types of hose lines, primarily hydraulic hose lines that go on to products that we see like lifts or for agricultural use. If you think of a tractor, agricultural equipment, construction equipment, we're creating those hose lines that move that hydraulic fluid in those machines. But beyond that, we still do other tubing and hosing products that go to a whole different variety of industries from throughout the division, from food to medical use to construction, agriculture. So we support a lot of different industries with our product.
Wow, that's pretty exciting. A lot of stuff going on there.
There's a lot to it.
So tell us, what kind of positions do you currently have open?
So our facility on Dufek Drive, we have an extrusion process and a braiding process. So a lot of our hosing is reinforced with wire or yarn braid. So we have extruder operators. So those are our machinists that do setups, changeovers, do troubleshooting. And also the same goes for our yarn braiding and then our wire braiding department. So all of those roles are roles that we're looking for currently. So definitely looking for individuals that don't necessarily have that direct experience, because it's a little bit of a unique process that we have. But certainly anyone with some machining experience is a plus, or anyone that has that mechanical aptitude. So we have, individuals that might tinker on their cars or have, even a couple classes in high school that can, have that interest to gain that knowledge. And that's all things that we train here on the job.
What shifts do you have available in your positions? Do you work all 3 shifts or?
Yes, so we do operate on all 3 shifts. So we have a first, second, and third that are pretty standard, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., and then a 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. role. For one of our departments currently, we do have a bit of a second hybrid shift that would be more of a 6 p.m. to 4 a.m., 4-day-a-week role. But the majority of our departments, for our extrusion, our packaging, testing area, bonding areas, and that yarn braiding area, those are all the regular 8-hour shifts, Monday through Friday.
Okay.
Certainly throughout the year, if we need to, work on Saturdays, but more overtime typically work during the week if that's necessary for us.
How many people do you employ at your Dufek division?
So the Dufek Drive location, we have about 70 individuals. So a smaller support staff here and the rest for our production facility.
Okay, wonderful. And so tell me a little bit about the culture.
Sure. So Parker, of course, being a global company, it's interesting to see even locations throughout the country that have a lot of the same things in place, similar values. So definitely value just ourselves leading with compassion, integrity. Of course, during this time, the last year, really working in pandemic, more important than ever that we're keeping great relationships with all of our team members because it's a stressful time outside of work for other individuals. So definitely a team atmosphere. We do have strive on our HPTs, or we call them high performance teams. So that's something every Parker location has. Really what those are is every functional area. So say I work in extrusion, I work on a team with my other team members, and they would track, what are those metrics on our safety first and foremost, quality, delivery, cost. We also have an engagement piece in there. So, really that team focuses on what are the pain points, what are the things that they need to work on the most, and really try to have that entrepreneurial spirit in managing through those teams and making changes and improvements that those teams see. And then beyond that, we all have, we call them star points, but they're different teams for each of those functional areas. So we have a safety star point team. So there's typically one person from each department. That's their safety person or that star point person that's involved from any safety aspects. And we continue that throughout the rest of the functions with quality and cost and delivery and that engagement piece. So of course, keeping our folks engaged and, seeing what different things we can do, especially during this pandemic time, to kind of raise spirits and keep individuals engaged.
Sounds like a really nice place to work, that's for sure. So can you tell us a little bit about the benefits that go with the job too?
Sure. So one benefit, and you're not thinking about it now when it's a -3-degree day, but we are temperature controlled. So good now, of course, they're warm, but in the summers, we're also temperature controlled, have air conditioned units. So that's a nice thing that doesn't get too terribly hot even during the summertime. Keeps the product cool and keeps us cool too, which is good. All of our Parker locations too, we do have day one benefits. So we do have pretty thorough, very competitive medical, dental, vision, optional insurances, 401k with company match, reimbursements typically, of course, for certain PPE or even wellness or a gym membership that team members might be a part of. We also do an educational reimbursement program and also have a profit sharing program that typically our new team members, you're all eligible for that after a year of service. And then that's 4 times a year based on what our division's performance is. That's an extra bonus that comes out to each of our team members.
Oh, it's a wonderful thing to be able to have health insurance on day one. So thank you for doing that for your employees. It's a great benefit. So if someone's interested in applying for this job or for any of the jobs that you have available, how do they go about doing that?
Sure. So parker.com/careers. With that, you can search by zip code or by location. So as a note, not just our location is hiring, but also our location on 24th Street. That's a part of a different division, but a lot of the same, benefits and things offered there as well, different types of roles. So if you just search the Manitowoc zip code on that career page, you can apply right online. So that's parker.com/careers. Or we welcome, walk-in applicants as well. So we do have paper applications for those that might have a difficulty adding their resume online or applying online. We have those at the door as well.
And what is typically the turnaround time? So if someone would apply for a job today, what would be the turnaround time till they would hear something from your company?
Yeah, so we're looking at applicants daily. So every day, any applications that we get, we'll be reaching out to start that first conversation and tell that individual more about Parker, what our opportunities are. Of course, from there, we'd like to get that team member or a candidate on site to see really what our operations look like, get them in tune for that and what they'd be interested in, and go from there. So, of course, now with us hiring for multiple positions, we're definitely engaged in that process and, look forward to any applicants that we can speak with and educate them about Parker and see what would be a good fit for them.